Yep. As Kathy, I heard Kathy say, if you're on Zoom, please mute yourself. I want to welcome everybody to the Rotary Club of Livermore meeting this week. Lots of folks in the house. Welcome, everybody. Hey, nice to see everybody. Nice to see all of you out there on Zoom. Carol Howell, we haven't seen you in a while. Would you like to lead us in the pledge today? Thank you. So, songsters.
Oh,
we have this week.
Okay, well, we're gonna sing a song by a gentleman by the name of Solomon Linda, who recorded this in 1939, and he grew up in Zulu country in South Africa. He was a member of a band called the Evening Birds. The song was recorded in 1952 by Pete Seeger, again by the Tokens in 1961, again by Disney and the Lion King. So we're going to do The Lion Sleeps Tonight. If we look like we're in pain, we are. Okay, so where are you, Stu?
I need to be able to share my screen here.
Oh, we can't use our imagination?
There we go. Okay, so
there we go.
This one, and we will do this one. So there it is. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. In the jungle, the quiet jungle, the lion sleeps tonight. Go in the way, 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 go in the way. Near the village, the peaceful village, the lion sleeps tonight. Near the village, the quiet village, the lion sleeps tonight. Go in the way, 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 go in the way. Hush, my darling, don't fear, my darling, the lion sleeps tonight. Hush, my darling, don't fear, my darling, the lion sleeps tonight.
We had a little trouble at the ending there, but not bad for 3 white guys.
You guys rock. That's awesome. So, Mr. Barry, that looked like, I don't know, an ancient Chinese vase or something that you were banging on there. What's up with that?
Yeah, that's an African drum that Jim Hurley lent to me just for this occasion.
All right, very cool. Nice. Okay, time for thought of the day. Sheila, what do you have for us?
Yes. All righty. Thank you, President Ken. Well, you know, I know that today Christian is going to be speaking about, you know, his life, and it got me to thinking a little bit about how, you know, when we grow up, our childhood, and how things change, and how people and events impact us. And also in Rotary, every year we have a theme that kind of impacts our direction for that year, and kind of leads to both, but ours is serve to change lives. And I found this on the internet, and I thought it was kind of interesting. And I think we all live by this as Rotarians, and I'm sure, and I know most of you do, as just individuals, because you're those kind of people. 7 rules for life. First, smile. It always works out in the end. Be kind. You have the power to make people feel good. Don't give up. If it doesn't work the first time, just find another way. Don't compare. Everyone's on a different journey. Avoid negativity. Try to avoid negative thoughts, situations, and people, if at all possible. Make peace with your past. Focus on being present and create a better future. Take care of your body and mind, because one struggles to survive without the other. And a final thought, life is like a camera. Just focus on what's important. Capture the good times, develop from the negative, and if things don't work out, just take another shot. Thank you.
Good stuff. Words of wisdom, every bit of that. Thank you, Sheila. So our meeting frontline today, Jeff Youngsma out there covering Zoom host duties today. Thank you, Jeff. Tim Berry stepped up to be our Spur reporter this week. Thank you very much, Tim, doing double duty. So audiovisual Alan Frank thought maybe someday he might want to go on vacation or maybe miss a meeting or something. So we've got Paul McCandless in the driver's seat today, learning how to back up Alan. So thank you both for that. Appreciate that. Zoom chat monitor out there, David Rounds, and our Spur publisher this week, Kathy Coyle. Thank you all. We couldn't do this without you. So thanks very much. At this time, I would like to welcome any visiting Rotarians, and I don't see any visiting Rotarians here at the Robert Livermore Community Center. How about on Zoom? Do we have any visiting Rotarians joining us today?
Not so far.
All right. Okay. Thanks very much. Visitors, I see we've got a visitor today. Christian, you brought somebody with you today.
Well, thank you again. I have my office admin, Alex Barron. She keeps me in check, and I thank God for her every single day.
Oh my gosh, so, that sounds like a big job. Welcome, Alex. How about on Zoom? We've got some visitors out there today. Any visitors?
No, not today.
Okay, well, maybe next week. So no more visitors. Announcements. So it's that time of the month where we want to acknowledge some birthdays and anniversaries. And Sonia's going to help us out with this today. So Sonia.
Okay, so birthdays and anniversaries for this month. For all those who have birthdays or anniversaries on Zoom, you do not get flowers or cupcakes, but everybody here does. So maybe next time you'll show up. Okay, so birthdays for the month of October. October 2nd is mine. Jacob Reed is October 12th, Jacob Reed, and October 16th is Pat McMiniman. And I'm the only one here, but everybody here gets cupcakes. That's a lot of cupcakes. I know. Okay, birthdays and anniversaries. Keith and Carol Beck, 6 years on October 11th. Ted and Courtney Michaels, 14 years on the 28th. Loretta and Jeff Caskey, 17 years on the 9th. Jim and Bonnie Schmidt, 30 years on the 22nd. Mike and Nancy Morgan, they're 38 years on the 28th. And Chris and Patty Ising, 39 years. Dennis O'Brien, who is here in the audience, 51 years on October 3rd. And finally, TJ and Barbara Gilmartin, 54 years on October 21st. Thank you, everyone.
That's great. Thank you.
So President Ken?
Yes.
Alan Burnham's birthday is October 10th, and he says he doesn't think it's in the club record, so we'll take care of that.
Excellent. Well, happy birthday, Alan. And I'm sure that was just an oversight, Alan. If you were here, we would absolutely give you a cupcake. So we'll get you next time. So at this time, I know last week we talked a little bit about Polio Plus. It was World Polio Day this weekend on October 24th. And we got such a great resource in our club here in all things polio. We want to just give Brian Mayall a few minutes to give us an update on what's going on. So Brian, what do you have for us today?
President Ken, I can kick this off and say today it's my pleasure to introduce and say a few words about our fellow Rotarians, Brian and Susan Mayall. For many years, Brian and Susan have consistently been among our club's strongest supporters of the Rotary Foundation's Polio Plus Fund and also the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. Dr. Brian Mayall, MD, was born in 1932 in Lancashire, UK. His NATO service as a pilot officer in the Royal Air Force from 1954 to 1956 included flying the de Havilland British jet fighter Vampires. He was then assigned to Transport Command and ferrying troops to the Middle East. From 1951 to 54, Brian attended Peterhouse at Cambridge University, where he studied natural sciences and economics. And from 1956 to 62, he completed his studies to become an MD at the University of Western Ontario in Canada. Brian's career spanned 62 years and was focused on cancer and genetic research. From 1962 to 72, he worked at the University of Pennsylvania. From 1972 to 92, he worked at the Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory. And from 1982 to 1998, he was professor of laboratory medicine at UCSF in San Francisco. Dr. Mayall also founded Cytometry, an important scientific journal. Brian retired in 1998 and joined Rotary Club of Livermore in the same year. Married Susan in 1955. Brian and Susan have 4 children, 9 grandchildren, and 6 great-grandchildren. And finally, Brian is probably the only Rotarian on the planet who holds in his possession a framed Polio Plus t-shirt signed by 5 RI presidents. So please join me as we warmly welcome Brian and look forward to his Polio Plus update and presentation today. Thank you.
Okay, I pushed the wrong button. I'm sorry. Let's get back into Zoom. Okay, so you can see the t-shirt. Anyway, that's that. Thank you. And I'm now going to go into screen share. Which I hope will come up.
Set to go there, Brian?
Yeah, it should be. We had major problems yesterday because originally I had this in a keynote, and now it's in PowerPoint. Okay, does that come up all right?
It does.
Okay, so this is a quick update on where we're at with polio. First, type 1 and type 2 and type 3 have been officially certified as being eliminated from the world. So the world is totally free of those 2 types of polio virus. So far this year, there have been only 2 cases of the polio type 1, the wild polio type. I say case, those are people that have the acute flaccid paralysis, which is the definition of the polio bad effects. Both of those cases occurred in January. Been no further cases reported, and they were from the border countries between Afghanistan and Pakistan. But there are around 700 cases of what we call CVDPV2, which is circulating vaccine-derived polio virus from the polio strain 2. And these are lingering cases from the vaccine, and it turns out being a live vaccine, it mutates. And so if it gets endemic in a population and goes through many passages, it can end up being paralytic. Cases, about half those cases are in Pakistan and Afghanistan. The other big place where there's been a major outbreak is Nigeria, up in the northern provinces, and scattered cases throughout Africa. But we have some hope against that, and I mentioned this last year. The novel oral polio vaccine type 2, which UCSF interestingly played a major role in developing, is now being applied. And this can be used to vaccinate as the live vaccine, to vaccinate against the mutated forms of the circulating derived virus. So there's real hope, and this vaccine being an oral one can be given in just the same way as the major national ones that have been done using the live Sabin vaccine. Okay, but there's some major challenges still ahead. First one, of course, is we've really got to eradicate HPV-1. And you remember, kids are being born all the time. And in Afghanistan, there's something like 10 million unvaccinated kids. In Pakistan, it's nearer to 40 million. And so the major efforts in those two countries, literally doing house-to-house work with thousands of teams, all women, going and checking the different places they live and so on. Also, there's a major vaccination. You can't cross the border without getting vaccinated. Last week, or a couple of weeks ago, the Taliban agreed to reinitiate or allow the house-to-house vaccination to proceed. It is dangerous work. During the past 12 months, there have been 8 ladies targeted killings of these teams as they go about their business. But with the Taliban promoting it, there's a reasonable chance we can get this done. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, but it really looks as though we may finally get rid of it. I've already mentioned about suppressing the circulating vaccine-derived virus. And the other change that's happening is moving to using the dead polio vaccine, the salt vaccine. That was not feasible for the massive projects which we undertook because it has to be injected. And that means you have to train people to inject. It's a much more expensive thing, but gradually the World Health Organization is turning over to using the Salk vaccine. Let me just remind you Rotary is part of the Global Polio Eradication Initiative. But the whole initiative was really created by a grant from the Rotary to the World Health Organization. And then the World Health Organization picked it up. But we truly were the catalyst. And in fact, we're still called the glue that holds the GPEI all together, even though in a monetary sense, there are other players that are much more important than what we are. But Rotary has the international infrastructure that's necessary to do these massive public health projects. So our other things on it are the World Health Organization, UNICEF, CDC, a big commitment from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, more than doubling the funds that we provide, and then was become part of the Global Vaccine Alliance, which is a new project, or has been initiated quite a bit after the GPEI started. Okay, so why should we carry on? Why should we continue to be interested? Obviously, first of all, we need to complete the task. And Rotary continues to play an absolutely critical role in this, in that almost like a cheerleader. And we can get the others to come along. World Health Organization, UNICEF, and so on have a whole slew of different conflicting demands on their funds, but Rotary has been able to make sure that they've kept funding the Polio Plus stuff. Should mention, I mean, the scale of the operation is really quite surprising. I'm talking about $1 billion plus every year, thousands and thousands of people involved in it in all the different countries of the world. In fact, what other organization? I mean, we're active in democracies, we're active in dictatorships, in tyrannies, even in theocracies. It's incredible. We're just everywhere, and it makes me very excited. So anyway, the world needs us, I think, and Rotary International needs us as a club to support it, as individuals supporting it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. So we appreciate you keeping our eye on the ball here and keeping us organization to say, yeah, we helped eradicate a disease, right? We made a terrible disease disappear from the planet. That's an incredibly, that would be awesome. And down to 2 wild polio cases on the planet. That's amazing. That we truly are that close, right? Mm-hmm. I know our presentation last week, some folks were a little bit confused. I got a few questions. Yes, I directed some DDF funds towards Polio Plus, and on paper that satisfied the goal that we had set for our club. But I don't think it's ever a bad thing to exceed a goal, right? If you want to help, and Polio Plus is a cause that you feel like supporting financially, absolutely, you can direct additional contributions to Polio Plus. So again, Brian, thank you for sharing with us. Really appreciate it. A couple of other announcements. Just want to remind everybody, if you're feeling like you need to get out and get a glass of wine, I know that happens sometimes. The Dublin Club tomorrow is organized a Area 4, so pretty much the whole Tri-Valley social at Page Mill Winery. and they invite you to come down and hang out and have a glass of wine. They're charging $15 at the door. 10 of that goes to the Wheelchair Foundation. So if you want to get out and have a glass of wine and maybe meet some Rotarians you didn't know before, tomorrow night at Page Mill, go check that out. Next announcement, again, just a reminder, we had an announcement last week about an event the Pleasanton Club, downtown Pleasanton Club is doing. Their annual fundraiser, the Halloween Spirit Run, on Halloween Day, Sunday, October 31st. If you would be interested in participating in that, and that's a walk or a run, 5K, 10K, you just want to go out and hang out with a bunch of people, get some fresh air. Again, check that out. Couple other things. Kathy Coyle, I think you wanted to give a quick shout out to some folks. Is that correct?
I do, Ken. Thank you very much. I am really, really pleased at the response I got to my email that I sent out yesterday asking people to sign up to help with the spur one time. And I've had at least 4 people, new people sign up. And I'm very excited about that. And I had one person say they would like to help publish the spur.
Yay, team.
So yay, team. There's still some slots out there. And guess what, Ken? When you send something by P-mail, you can check and see who's read it. And so I know who's read the email and I know who hasn't. So I might send it out again. Thank you, Ken.
It's like saying knows if you've been good or bad, right?
Yes, that's very true. I'll give you another chance. Thanks, Ken.
Thank you all to club members that stepped up. Really appreciate your help and efforts in making our club go, right? I want to do one other thing real quick too. At our board meeting last week, the board, said, yes, we absolutely want to do a crab feed, right? The reality of these times are that it's challenging, right? I see not so many faces in person here. I see lots of people still on Zoom. Frankly, we weren't sure if this made sense for us to attempt a gathering of 400 people to have a fun evening. And the board was adamant, yes, this is something we want to do. I sent out a survey earlier this week. And thank you to, I think this morning there were 48 of you who took a moment to answer my very short, very brief 2-question survey. But it seems like we got a good chunk of people that want to do this thing. They either want to go or they want to participate in pulling this off. So buckle up. We've got a few months to pull this off. And if you have any interest in participating in making that happen, we need to ramp up the efforts to get that going and get back on track with that. So I got a question in the audience. Yes, Alan.
We've got a 75th anniversary coming up. Right about the time we normally have the crab feed. You might consider merging those 2 functions.
We've talked about that and we've decided to go big and make it 2 separate things, right? Maybe we've got some folks that are allergic to crab, but still want to celebrate our 75th. And actually in the survey, I've seen a lot of positive feedback about the 75th celebration also, that people want to do that. And they're going to be about a month apart. So get your party pants on, people. February, we're going to have a good time. So just wanted to let everybody know where that's at. And if you've still got that survey in your email box and you haven't had a chance and you'd like to make your voice heard, I know myself and this board is trying as hard as we can to be responsive to our members, right? We get that our members make this happen. We are doing this for our members. We're trying to do what you want to do. So speak up, people, let us know. Okay, so at this point, done with the announcements. Next week, we have Jeff Clay from Clay House Photography going to be sharing some of his work with us. And I'm really curious to see that. Splend, who lines up all of our programs, spoke very highly of Jeff's work. So you don't want to miss that next week. At this point, then, I would like to introduce a man who maybe doesn't even need an introduction to our club, right? Our member, Christian Chuckwuma, who's going to share with us a little bit about his background and his story, so we get an opportunity to get to know Christian better. So please join me in giving a warm Rotary Club of Livermore welcome to our member, Christian Chuckwuma.
Thank you. You are a young athlete growing up. All your life, your dream is to win the Olympics gold medal in 100-meter dash. You work all your life aspiring for that goal. Finally, one year, you made it to the Olympics. It is action time. The gun went off, and you took off. You were favored to win. Just a few minutes before the finish line, you fell. You did not win the gold medal. What goes through your mind at that time? What if the fall was orchestrated by an opponent? What if the fall was planned by a trusted friend that spilled something on your tracks at the end that's slippery? And what if that fall was purely intentional, planned by your coach that got you to the Olympics? What do you do at that time? Do you feel demoralized? Do you feel betrayed? What goes on through your mind at that time? Keep those thoughts in mind as I share my story, my little story, what I'll call a Reader's Digest version of my life journey to the United States. Next screen. All right. I was born in Lagos, Nigeria, with a population of about 14 million, well over 14 million people in Lagos, where I was born. It used to be the former capital of Nigeria until it got so crowded. Got too crowded, they moved the capital to Abuja. Next screen. And that's Abuja, capital of Nigeria right now. That's now in the middle belt of Nigeria. Next screen. The population of Nigeria today, that is the most populous country in West Africa, in Africa, as a matter of fact. It's on the west coast of Africa with about 208 million people right now, based on the census of January. I have humble beginnings. I'm the youngest of 5 boys. Growing up, we have no girls. My parents all had girls, and I was supposed to be the girl, but I refused. My dad served 37 years in the police and retired with a very high rank as a deputy superintendent of police. My mom was a businesswoman, dealing with tobacco products, wholesale, and I had my undergraduate in Nigeria, unlike my brother, who's a physician in Florida, he came here at a young age, at the age of 18 or 19, after high school, and did everything here, and got his degree, first degree, then medicine, then now an emergency room doctor. Got my bachelor's degree in economics in 1986. I used to visit 1985 and 86 to the United States, about a month, then I'll go back. And he encouraged me to come to the United States because of the opportunities that abound here. And after I earned my MBA degree, my bachelor's degree, even with my bachelor's degree, I tried to find a job in Lakeland, Florida. If you're familiar with Florida, that's about 20% Black population. Good luck trying to find a job in the bank, a foreign degree with bachelor's degree honors in economics, cum laude. Tried every bank, it wasn't happening. My brother said, you know why you're still looking for a job? I told you to go find a menial job because I'm still giving you pocket money. I'm telling you, you need to go get a degree in the United States before you're respected. Go get anything to start making money for now. My first job was to work at a Shell gas station as an attendant selling cigarettes. I have to pocket my degree selling cigarettes and pumping gas, and cleaning toilets and everything else. And I got fired from that job, so I wasn't doing the job correctly, they said. That was my first strike. I was like, whoa, okay. And he said, welcome to America. The assistant manager, for some reason, we never saw eye to eye. Nothing I do made sense to her. Finally, convinced the manager to fire me because either I wasn't cleaning the toilet very well or I wasn't putting the cigarettes very well where it's supposed to be. I have no idea. My brother said, welcome to the United States. Then I graduated to selling shoes at the mall with a bachelor's degree honors in economics, cum laude. I knew it was time to go back to school, and that's what my brother advised me to do. Just go back and get your MBA. You have a degree from the United States. So I took my GMAT exam, and fortunately, I did very, very well because Nigeria was formerly under the British colony. So that's British education system we have in Nigeria. I got admission into 7 schools for my MBA. Thankfully, because I'm in Florida, I went to University of South Florida in Tampa, next to Busch Gardens. I've been to Busch Gardens, next door to my school. We had the Super Bowl, the bowl. So after selling shoes for 2 years at Rackroom Shoes, trying to pay my way through college with the help of my brother, I finally earned my MBA degree after 2 years in 1993. And even at that, I have to still work the next menial jobs a little bit, selling Visa and MasterCard terminals, where you swipe your card as a merchant to take Visa or MasterCard. I sold those terminals after graduation. Then I got some experience in sales, and I landed my first job at Pitney Bowes as an account executive. Woohoo! I was selling postage machines and mailing systems and everything. After my experience there, with my MBA background and the experience I had, an opportunity came up at Neopost, who happens to be the number 2 in the world. Pitney Bowes was number 1 in mailing systems. Neopost was number 2. As a sales manager, I applied for that position. Guess what? I got it. For 17 consecutive months, I was the number 1 sales manager in the United States of all the branches. Before, it's like New York, Denver, Katnoka, whatever, Miami. Once I came in, Miami Lakes, number 1, February, March, April, May, June, July, 17 consecutive months. They couldn't believe that. The headquarters is in Hayward, California, Neopost. They were like, who is this guy? And they moved me to California to become the marketing specialist for the entire country. I took a cut in pay. Remember, I had 8 sales reps under me, and I was getting all their overrides, making good money as a sales manager. They moved me to Hayward. I lived in Pleasanton. My goal of taking a slight cut in pay for the so-called big salary was to become the first Black vice president in 72-year history of the company. That was my goal. I felt it was a laudable goal, and I took the position. I did everything I could to excel in that company. If you guys know about stamps.com, that's a little machine, you can print your stamps from your office. There's one called Simply Postage, the competition. That was my product in the United States. I launched that product at Neopost as a marketing specialist with my sales manager. And I gave it a name, Tell Somebody campaign. He was so proud of me, Mr. Steve Pitch, so proud of me. He was walking around the whole tent, 400 people, and just shouting my name. Now, that position as a product manager came up as the addressing systems product manager. That's a good pathway to become a VP in the company. I said, you know what, I'll do that job. I did that job as the addressing systems product manager for a whole year as acting, plus my marketing specialist job with not a single pay more. So I saved the company a ton of money for acting as a product manager and I was doing 2 jobs for the same pay. Because my goal is to show them what I can do as a VP. Remember, I was the #1 sales manager for 17 consecutive months with a master's degree in business. There's a guy, number 56 manager in the United States named Mark with a bachelor's degree. I was at the corporate office already in the marketing department doing that job as a product manager. Guess what? Somebody told me, Christian, I thought you were going into this position. What happened? I saw this advertised on Monster.com. I said, no. No, I'm stepping in there. That's why I'm the acting manager. He said, no, Christian, I saw it. I swear. And I went home. Lo and behold, they were advertising, looking for a product manager for the position. I've been an acting manager for 1 year with a master's degree, the #1 sales manager in the country. And they pulled Mark from Chicago and they shipped him to Hayward to take that position with a bachelor's degree and the 56th manager in the country. I was #1 with a master's degree. Talk about disappointment at my boss. I printed it, I went into the office. I said, Steve, what is this? You are so proud of me. I cried, I'm not gonna lie to you. I broke down. I was like, wow. I couldn't believe a human being could do that after being so proud of me and saving you so much money and doing such an excellent job. Next screen. And I knew that it is time to make a change. When I saw that, after being passed over in promotions, in that promotion as addressing systems, next slide, that is after so many accolades. I have a gazillion of days, not in my office here, in my home office, in my house. I removed all these things, but I left it there. After all the accolades and after everything, #1 sales manager, master's degree with the acting product manager, then you brought somebody to do that. I was so disappointed. Next slide. As God and luck will have it, I knew it was time for me to leave. Thankfully, Charles Polici, the CEO of EMS Systems, God bless his heart, found my resume and hired me to be to be in charge of all the Canada, Northern California and Canada, selling systems like Junior Oracle, eSynergy, Macola ERP software, 2001. I covered Northern California and Canada. That I did not argue with what this guy wanted to pay me. It was shocking. I saw the offer letter. You see a kind man. Don't argue with that. I did not argue. I said, you know what? I'll take the offer. And I took that position. That income gave me enough gut to go build my house in Tracy within 3 months. A 5-bedroom house, 3-car garage, huge backyard. My biggest decision to do that, and I'm so glad I did. Then in 2003, after I built my house and I got married in November, the company wants to move me after Charles sold the company. Charles sold the company to another corporation. The next thing they came in, they want to move me to Los Angeles. To work Los Angeles area, Northern California and Canada. I said, are you going to buy my house? I just finished building my first house. And I live there now, and I just got married. They said, no, we're not going to buy your house. But we want you to operate from the branch in Los Angeles. I said, I'm going to start renting again. I said, can I think about this? They said, yes. Either I take that offer or I'm going to have a separation from the company. I thought it was a joke. And I went home, talked with my wife. I just refused to move. And I said, you know what? I'll take the package. They want to give me a 2-month package, but I negotiated a 6-month severance package. Thankfully, something opened up at Washington Mutual within 2 months. Remember, I got 6 months of pay. Within 2 months, I landed a job at Washington Mutual as a mortgage consultant. I did that job until the mortgage crisis hit. Hit so hard, after 5 years, Washington Mutual struggled and on the verge of bankruptcy. All the commissions were cut. You have to work your butt off. You have to work 3 times as hard to make the same money. It wasn't making any sense to me. I was losing deals to Bank of America all the time, every deal to Bank of America. And I was like, what is going on? Thankfully, Chase wanted to purchase, next screen, Washington Mutual, Chase Manhattan Bank. They went to Seattle. I told my manager, please, come back with good decision. It makes sense for Chase to buy Washington Mutual. Let them buy it so we don't lose our jobs. Unfortunately, the senior managers blocked it. They will not let Chase buy Washington Mutual at the time. It finally happened after I was gone. And I was like, what is going on? So after I lost much business to Bank of America, I knew it was time to join Bank of America. I joined Bank of America as a mortgage consultant as well. Next slide. Now, I was working there, cruising with $25 million in loan pipeline, one of the top producers. One day I got to work. Martha, I'm not going to mention her name, her last name, and the friend, after 25 and 26 years of working at Bank of America, were crying when I got to the office. So what's going on? They got laid off. You got laid off? They're about to retire. Serving you for 25 and 26 years respectively. Why would you do that to a human being over 60 years old? Why? I held them in my arms, they're all crying. I cried. I'm sorry, I cry, I'm a crying baby sometimes. And I called my wife, baby, how would you like me to work here for 25 years and one day I come back after 60 years old and boom, I was let go. How would you like that? She would not like that. She didn't like that. I became so uncomfortable, I started looking for other opportunities. Next slide. Then posting my resume, one day something landed on my email to take an exam, some kind of test. It was a personality test about you. I click on it, I closed it, and I came back, I click again, and I took the test. I didn't know I scored so high. They were looking for personality traits on becoming a financial advisor, financial advisor. I got a call the next day that they want to interview me. They want my date of birth, and I said, no, hold on. Can I talk to somebody who's a financial planner? And I went and talked to the two guys. Thanks to a guy, Ron, I'm not going to mention the last name, in Livermore at the time, he was the advisor at the branch I took over. I said, Ron, here's what I'm making right now. I took my W-2. I said, what am I going to make here? When he told me what I'm going to make in the first year, it didn't make any sense. I said, no, if somebody works their butt off, one of your best advisors, they're going to make this in the first year. What about $65,000? He said, yeah. I said, it doesn't make any sense. He asked me a question. Are you looking for a job, Christian, or are you looking for a career? Whoa, that was profound. Do you like helping people? I said, I love helping people. If you love helping people and you're looking for a career, come here. If you're looking for a job, stay at Bank of America. Whoa. That hit my heart, hit me so hard. That was the very first time I stopped thinking about what's in it for me. It's all about me. What's in it for me? That's all I'm thinking about. Next slide. I had no choice. I took that position. I took that cut in pay because it's not about me anymore. It's about helping people. Passed all the exams, 37 license, 66 license, life and health, uniform state law, everything. Did all that. Next slide. Then in 2013, I got the last straw of what I call corporate nonsense. 2013, the federal regulators were on the back of Edward Jones because of how they trained the advisors, including those before me. They were in hot water. And if you think about the fines for these companies, sometimes 20 million, 30 million fines, crazy fines. The next thing, they blame this on all the many advisors, and they pick and choose in so many cities across the United States. Guess what? They laid off a bunch of advisors at that time, everybody gone. Throughout the country, it was crazy. Well, like, what is, it doesn't matter. If your admin is doing something, it doesn't matter. You are the licensed person in that office. They don't care. You're out of there. I was in that group of the block layoffs in the country at Edward Jones. But guess what? As God and life and luck will have it, that was a blessing in disguise right there. That was my blessing till today. Being in that block of advisors. Next slide. Then what does that mean for me? It is time to end the corporate nonsense and become an independent financial advisor, where they still hold your license, because a broker has to hold your license for sure, but you own the practice. For compliance and regulations, they have to hold your license unless you're an RIA. So I did that. The same day I was laid off with all the advisors at Edward Jones, I got a call. What a coincidence. I got a call trying to hire me at LPL and Securities America, my current broker-dealer. The same day. Is that what? I was like, is that somebody planning something here? What is going on? 3 days I was hired by both companies. Now I have to choose. Who am I going to go to? And I thank God I went to Securities America. Edward Jones had to hold my license for 30 days. No matter what happens, if you are separated from a company, a broker-dealer, they have the right to sit on your license because they're afraid you're going to take their clients. I have very loyal clients, including many of you, some of you in this room. So, next slide. Becoming independent, that was, besides marrying my wife, Catherine, that was the best decision that I've ever made in my life. Besides marrying my wife, Catherine, my best decision so far. Now, an employer, living my dreams, owning my own financial planning firm, no more allegiance to any corporation, no more product restrictions, no more quotas, or you have to sell this. You do only what is best for the clients, not what the company wants or what is best for them. It doesn't matter. Everybody is my partner. Fidelity, BlackRock, JP Morgan, everybody, they're all my partners now. Because you are independent. No sales quotas. Next slide. Now, not just becoming independent, being a minority-owned business, what can I do to fortify my practice? What can I do? Because at every time you have to play at a super high level if you want to compete as a black minority business. It's not the same. It's not a level playing field. I say, you know what? I thought about the two designations that are very, very important today in this industry. Being a behavioral financial planner. I went for the test. Thankfully, I passed it. I didn't have time to go for my ultimate dream, becoming an accredited investment fiduciary. That was my ultimate dream. I didn't know what to do. No time to study for that. Then the COVID hit. I have more time. Another blessing in disguise. And last year, I did that. Studied my butt off, and thankfully, thank God, today, I am an accredited investment fiduciary, doing exactly and only what's in the best interest of the customers and not the corporations, period. Next slide. If you go back again. If you remember, go back. Remember my Olympic experience at the bottom, my Olympic story of making it there and falling at the last minute. Guess what? That was my Olympic dream, because that's the dream of any advisor, becoming independent. What you look forward to. The next screen is what I look forward to every single day, besides changing lives. Next screen. That's what I look forward to going to every morning, besides changing lives every single day. I look forward to seeing my admin sitting right there, Alex Barron. I look forward to seeing my beautiful office. When I go home, what do I look forward to when I go home? Next slide. That is what I look forward to when I'm going home. My beautiful, loving family. My kids, beautiful kids for me, and my wife, who is so resilient and encouraged me when I was knocking on doors. When a guy wanted to shoot me at the house, why are you knocking on my house? You guys, you're all criminals. I said, what happened? Somebody, when I was in some company, they messed up on my money. I said, sir, I'm not with that company. I was knocking on doors. My wife encouraged me, honey, one day you're going to own your own office. Keep going. That's what I look forward to. Finally, what do I look forward to? Seeing all of you and making a difference in people's lives. For me, the last but not the least, how fulfilling, and I've said it several times, you can't give with a closed fist. You got to open your palm, folks, so they can take what you're giving. When you do that, you're opening for God's blessings to drop in every single time. And I'll be remiss if I don't tell you that I did not do any of this on my own. And I know we don't talk about religion here. I'm a born-again Christian, and I thank God. The only reason why I am where I am today, and I've built my foundation so strong, is in Christ Jesus. In Christ Jesus, He solidified me, that I now have almost like a foolproof practice, and I thank God for that. But I thank all of you, more importantly, the fact that I'm with you, changing lives one day at a time in Livermore and around our communities. So I'm going to encourage, like Stella shared, you fall, you get up. you fall, you get up, and finally you cross that finish line and you have your gold medal. That is how I feel today, folks. That is how I feel today. And I thank you for what you do. Thank you for being a part of you, for serving the community. God is blessing all of your families with longevity and everything else. And that's how I hope to be when I grow up. I'm going to be just like all of you. Thank you so much.
Woo! Pretty cool. That Christian, he's a fighter, right? No knocking that guy down. So that's our meeting for today. I want to thank everybody for coming, and go out there, go into the world. If you get knocked down, get back up, be kind and be safe, and we'll see y'all next week.